Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the Storytellers Hearth Weekend Relay. We are sprint number 4, I believe. How are we doing? How's everybody feeling?
Ready to get into things.
Yes, we were talking backstage about the fact that none of us have gotten to write yet today. So we have a lot of writing energy left, and we're very excited. So before we get into it, would my co-hosts like to introduce themselves?
Sure. I am Mars. My channel is somberhoney books. I really like this. Where's this side? The little subtitle. I really like that feature now. It's really helpful.
Yeah.
I post videos on Fridays and shorts on Saturdays, except this upcoming week you're getting a video both days because I just have too much stuff to put out. And then sometimes on Sundays. I make content about reading and writing and other shenanigans. So
Awesome. I'm glad we're getting a double up week.
Hi, everyone. My name is Caitlin Asche. My channel is A Barista's Writing Journey, and I currently am posting writing vlogs, and I also host occasional writing sprints on my channel as well, just documenting my writing journey. So, that's
awesome. Yes, and both Mars and Caitlin are linked down below, of course. And hi, if you don't know me, my name is Anna Robbins. I'm a fantasy writer who sometimes makes videos. I post about once a month, and I am starting to solo stream once a month as well. And I sometimes do a chaotic, irregular stream with my friends, the Lazy Gang. So yeah, I'm very excited. Let me see. We've got a lot of friends in the chat, which I'm so excited about.
Yeah, everyone was here commenting so early.
Yeah. You all were here for so early. I'll just jump in. Hi, Michael. Hi, MV Mackenzie, and Hudson, and Malin, and Zainab, and Ashley, and Shannon, and Essie. Oh my gosh. Hi, Joanna. I'm glad everybody had a nice break. I hope you're coming back feeling refreshed and ready to write. So yeah, I think we're gonna pop a few questions in between our sprints today. We're gonna do 3 30-minute sprints with some chats in between. And so first off, just wanted to get like a nice picture of you guys and the projects you're working on right now, what you're working on today, and maybe like how your first quarter has gone as far as your writing. Like we're in March, which I can't believe the first quarter of the year is about over. So yeah, talk to me about that.
My first quarter has been a lot of like project hopping, but also like a lot of going back to projects. So January with Janurimo. Oh, my heat just kicked off and I feel like I'm yelling. Oh, that started. I was drafting my paranormal romance serial, the first season of it is what I've been calling it, because there's going to be 3 seasons. And so that's what these pink index cards are, all the chapters for that. And then in February, I just outlined a whole bunch of other projects because I'm like, I have too many ideas stuck in my head that I just write down and put to the side. So I did that. And then this month, I edited my serial and then edited Revelry, which is my Dark Academia novel, which is what these index cards are for. I did the proofreading.
Oh my gosh, it was so far along.
Yeah, it was a very good time. And then right now I am drafting WITD. I forgot the acronym for a second there, which is not quite a sequel to Revelry. It's like a epilogue kind of thing, but it doesn't follow the main character. It follows 2 side characters, and it's just like a slice of life novella of what happens to them after Revelry. Yeah, I'm like, I love these characters too much not to give them a little bit extra. So that's what I'm currently doing and hoping to get it done before the end of the month.
You crushed this quarter. Oh my gosh. And I forgot that you are also writing a serial because I'm also writing a serial. So I'm so excited we're in that together. Do you have ideas yet about if you're going to release your serial, where you're going to release it so that I can read it?
Yeah, so I'm planning on doing
Mars,
Oh,
you sound like you're in a tunnel right now.
sorry, Mars, your audio is a little quiet.
Did muting it fix it?
Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was saying that I've been using Ko-fi a lot more to do like random updates and stuff. So they have memberships where you like pay each month and everything. And I was figuring I would do it there, and it'd be like a weekly upload kind of thing.
Awesome.
So that's the plan, at least.
Very cool. Very cool. All right, and Caitlin.
Well, this quarter was actually spent finishing up the one of the final revisions of my City project, and I entered the query trenches. I've been in the query trenches for about a month now.
Oh my gosh. Ooh, that's exciting. Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
I know.
It is a waiting game at this point, and figuring all that out, and then deciding like how to edit the query letter and the query package for the next round after I get responses and stuff. So figuring all that out. But today I'm going to be working on brainstorming for my new project. I'm just currently like brain dumping into this notebook where it's like nothing makes sense, nothing is organized. It's just every thought that happens, I'm writing it down. So
Awesome. Oh, I'm so excited for both of you. You're both at such exciting phases. And, fingers like the most crossed. So my quarter was pretty good. I've been trying to finish the season 1 of the serial, which is a like cozy gas lamp fantasy set in like an alternate Victorian setting. I'm super excited about it. I am in the last chapter and I've been trying to finish it for like, it feels like forever.
You're so close though.
I am really close, and it just keeps stretching and stretching and stretching. So I'm in the last chapter, but I just don't know how many scenes that chapter is going to take. So with any luck, I might be able to finish it, this weekend on the relay, maybe tomorrow. So yeah, my whole quarter was basically spent doing that. It was my NaNoWriMo project, and then I took a little bit of time off and then really got back into it in February. So yeah, that was me. Essie is working on her historical fiction novel, still hoping to complete the rough draft of it by the end of the month. We like completing things. Malin also went from a brand new project drafting to revising my first finished book after months, so also project hopping and going back to old projects. As long as you go back.
That's the thing that I usually have issues with, so.
Yeah. Hi, Bree. Joanna is proofreading their first book in my sci-fi romance trilogy. Then finishing my summary and query letter. Going to start querying next week. There's so many people going into the trenches right now. I'm so excited. Yes to Ko-fi. I'm hoping we won't have more. My Wi-Fi does tend to give me some stream troubles, so if I'm lagging, please everybody shout at me in the comments and I will fix it. Lee is attempting to finish my manuscript this weekend. Another one. Zainab, in NaNoWriMo, I finished my 0 draft for my novel, then took a break and participated in a short story competition, and now I'm back to revising my novel. Awesome. Yes. Good luck. Good luck. Marin released my second book in January. And have been trying to write the third. I've been trying to find a balance between working seriously but also being kind to myself. I feel that. That has felt like the theme of my quarter 1 was like trying really hard to finish this draft, but also not putting too much pressure on myself. CAC, I hope I didn't say that too incorrectly. Currently outlining as much as I can on a YA coming of age so I can start drafting it for Camp Nano next month. Oh my god, Camp Nano's next month? I didn't have even computed this.
A week from now.
Jeez.
Oh my gosh. Hoping to get through the midpoint this weekend, which currently looks feasible. Amazing. Hi, Kate. Love the brain dump phase and good luck on querying.
Thank you.
Violet's going to continue working on book 1, Potions and Pleasure, because I want to get to it by 55K by Monday. Ooh, fun title. Abigail, I'm drafting a new project and hoping to hit 30K this weekend. Got some big word counts.
Oh,
I think
and there
Anna
it
froze.
is.
No, you did so well.
I'm guessing I just froze.
Yeah.
Yep.
You're still frozen, but we can hear you.
Okay, be right back.
And we can't even click on comments. Oh man.
It's fine. We're gonna be sprinting soon anyway, I'm sure. And then
Yeah, everything will be fine.
Really sorry about that, guys.
You're good. We're here.
All right. Well, on the note of Wi-Fi struggling, I am going to go ahead and get us into our first sprint. So let me pull up my screen. I hope we're ready. Like I said, we're going to do 3 30-minutes. So here's your first sprint, everybody. Ready, set, go. All right, everybody, that is the end of our first sprint. How did we do?
I wrote 579 words and researched a recipe because gotta be accurate.
Amazing. That's
Are
awesome.
we allowed to ask what recipe?
Candy stuffed pancakes.
That sounds like Elf.
I mean, this does take place around Christmas time.
Nice.
Awesome.
I got some nice brainstorming work done, and then started like kind of figuring out like not quite an outline, but figuring out like for each, because this next project is going to be 3 points of view, and figuring out like what order I want their stories to be told in based off like their inciting incidents a little bit. So I haven't finished creating all of their character arcs yet, but I kind of have like the beginning of their stories figured out. So I'm figuring out like who gets to go first, basically.
That's so exciting. So do you think it's going to be very like chapter or character 1, character 2, character 3, and so on, or is it going to be a little more like organic?
It's going to be a little more organic, where it's like there's one character that I don't want her to have a POV chapter until she's like introduced in another character's storyline, which is going to be a little bit like farther in. So
that's cool, because then you're not expecting it, and then you're like, wait, we get to see inside their head? This is cool.
Anna, you are lagging a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, guys. I will be right back.
It's not that bad, though, but yeah.
I am in awe in how you keep doing all these multi-POV stories. I did one, and I'm like, no, I can't do that for years. Like, I'm going to stick to my single POV.
This one came to me, though, where I was like, there's no way I can't do this without multi-POV. And it's 3 very specific characters, so...
Yeah, that's fair.
I really want to write a multi-POV book someday. I don't know if I'm good enough yet, but they're my favorite to read, so naturally.
Although it's like, this is my first time like going in, like planning to do multiple POVs, because my last project, like originally was just 1 POV, and then like draft 3, I was like, I'm going to make it dual POV, and just started from scratch for that one. So this is like a new figuring out the like planning method before drafting.
We love it. We love a plan. Gosh, sorry my camera is so dark. The sun is going down and my camera does not know how to compensate. And now it's really bright.
It works.
Anyway, all right, so I asked in the chat, and real quickly, maybe we can just hear from you both. What is going well with your project and what is challenging? Because I think it's nice to be like, yeah, you know what? This is going well, and I am enjoying this piece of things.
Well, for what's going well right now, it's the fact that I do know these characters very well because they do show up in the novel that I've been working on for almost 3 years. And so I know what's going to happen, and I love them so much, so I'm like excited to write about them. What's challenging is the fact that I just spent most of this month doing edits on 2 very big projects, and so my brain is still in like editor mode, and I keep trying to be like, no, just get the words out and worry about making them good later. And I feel like they're so bad, and I keep wanting to go fix it. I'm like, no, we're not doing that right now.
Have to put your different hat on. Yeah, I totally get that.
I think with me with this project, like I'm still, what's going well is definitely just the like unlimited possibilities aspect of the brainstorming phase. And it's exciting in that sense, but I always struggle with naming characters. So right now I have like a list of characters to name that's just like this person, leader of this group, and like that type of thing. And naming is always the thing that I struggle with the most, especially like titling the entire story altogether too is always one of my weak points.
Yeah. I don't have titles for any of my projects that aren't like placeholder titles.
Yeah.
I've never titled a thing really in my life.
So I think it's like very similar where it's like naming a character and titling a story. Those are the things that I struggle the most with. So
Yeah. I think for me, what's going well is kind of like Mar said, is I love this set of characters so much, and they are distinct where it's much easier to write them, and they just have really strong personalities. So I don't feel like I'm like sitting back and questioning like, oh, what would they do in this situation? So that's been really helpful for drafting because it happens so much easier. But I think the challenging part for me is definitely because it's like a slightly historical setting, I'm having to do a lot of research. And, Victorian setting and a little bit of like London high society. And so it's like, how do people address each other? Like, what would they be wearing? And how does that differ from like I had to research, like, could ladies go out to lunch together by themselves? And the answer is yes, actually. And so
but also yours is like a bit of it's like a fantasy world too, right? But with Victorian inspiration. So it could be like, it doesn't have to be completely accurate every time.
Oh, definitely. Yes.
And
I will use that to my advantage when someone says that's not historically accurate. But yeah, for the most part, I want it to feel, because it's kind of like, so as I understand it, Gaslamp is like an offshoot of steampunk, where instead of technology being a big focus, it's kind of more magic is the focus. So it's like if this world, it feels real, but if it was based on magic instead of steam, and that's how everything runs, but it's still kind of a realistic-ish.
It's always a good term to have, just realistic-ish.
Yeah. Angela said they're going well is that they're finally in the story and know where I'm going. And oh my gosh, I'm sorry you can't see me at all right now. I'm trying to get my lighting. My camera will not wake up. Challenging part is making sure I don't mess up the military stuff. So yeah, same deal with having to feel like I have to research every little thing. Oh, hi, Regina, and hi, Ty. Thanks for joining. Adam said the challenging part is always coordinating the group, getting subcontracted, relatively inexperienced people to focus long enough to execute the well-laid plan. And I think this is related to film production. I think, Adam, you're producing your own screenplays, if I am relaying that right. So yeah, anything where you have to work with other parties, I can imagine.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm the boss by default, but it's clear to me that pretending to be an iron fist of authority would only blow up in my face. Oh, I hope you get a good group around you. Hudson, what's going well is my story. The challenging side, the part of my brain that is productive and stays on task, seems to have That's
I feel that.
You can't be productive all of the time. Hey, Elaine. Malin said, what's going well in Demons line edit is the new scenes describing more of the campus setting in New England. I'm really happy with those. More challenging is the time it takes to line edit.
Yep. I feel that.
Yeah, Mars, can you tell us like how does line editing go for you as far as speed? Because I've never line edited something of my own, so I can't really speak on that.
It's okay. I don't know if I'm going to explain this in a way that makes sense, but like, it's like you already have all of your big pieces there and in place. For me, it's more of just making it sound nice. So when I was editing Revelry, I wasn't like checking character motivations or making sure chapters were in the right order, because I've already done that in past drafts. It's more like taking a paragraph and being like, okay, what words can I switch out to make this flow better, to make it sound nicer, to make it convey the message more, and spend however long on that, and then, okay, next paragraph. And the next paragraph is just going and going, and then you'll like change something and you'll be like, oh, but now this sounds like I just reused a phrase from up here, but it sounds better down here, so I have to go back and fix this again. So it's very tedious.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah. I've been talking to Hudson and Malin a lot about Pro Writing Aid because I think
Mhm.
they've both used that for line edits. And I'm really excited to try something like that and see just how torn up my prose can be.
And looking at like each sentence at the structural level too, it's
Mhm.
can get very tedious, as Mars said.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I could imagine just the time going by because I could spend hours on just doing a page, I'm sure. Joanna says, after the lengthy revision process, my draft feels like it's in a great place. Challenges, query letters are hard, but so exciting that you're at that phase.
You can be the best writer in the world, but you have to learn how to market yourself. That's the hard part.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
talk about putting on a different hat. As to the specific next project on the assembly line, the biggest relief is it can be done with a small number of crew. Biggest challenge is budgeting. Yeah, film production sounds like a whole lot of logistics.
Mm-hmm.
Laura said, the skeleton of the plot is going well. The hard part is getting into my characters' heads and giving them personality. My tip for this is take a personality quiz as your
Mhm.
character.
Mm-hmm.
I specifically I think it's 16 personalities.
Mhm.
I might be getting the number wrong, but that's a good one. That helped me a lot because I have this problem
Yeah.
a lot too.
I actually just did that exact thing for my 3 main POVs the
Yeah,
other day.
it's so helpful because it gives you a lot of fodder that you wouldn't necessarily think of, I think.
Yeah, I did took the quiz as my 3 main POV characters for this new story, and I also came up with the big 3 for astrology for each of those characters as well. So I feel like I've got a handle on each of them.
Exciting. I love it. I love it. Dolores said, finally got to write some spicy scenes with my main characters. That's a plus for sure. And we had some high vlogs. Thank you all. um, let me see. I think I got everybody's answers. I'm just scrolling past some chat. Marin got 915 words. Best
Wow.
sprint so
Yeah.
far today. Round of applause for that one. And 566. Awesome. And Zainab made progress in this current chapter. 37 words and dinner. That's
Mhm.
important. 300 words for Ty and 389 for Abby. Awesome. Everyone did really well.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and pull up our next sprint. And hopefully I don't freeze again. But I probably will.
You just jinxed it. You've been doing so good.
Oh, I know. I know. Okay, let me just get the ad done. All right. Good luck, everybody. Happy writing. All right, everybody, that is the end of sprint number 2. How did that go for everyone?
I got a little bit of a snack because looking at this recipe made me hungry. So I went with a Reese's peanut butter egg, and then I wrote 432 words.
That sounds like Reese's peanut butter eggs would actually go good in pancakes, though.
Yeah. I also got a snack. I just had a granola bar. And then I did some more brainstorming and then ended up in a research spiral of seeing what red sun was in different languages. So that's kind of where I'm at. I don't know what I want to use, but I want a word in a different language that like means.
Oh, second Anna.
Oh.
I'm so sorry. The Wi-Fi gremlins are really here to ruin the stream today.
It's fine.
Can I remove my other self? Oh, okay. I don't know how that worked, but it worked. That was a good sprint for me. I got another couple hundred words and then just did some organizing. Like I think for this last chapter, this is like the big climax scene. And I have outline notes about what needs to happen, but I don't think I narrowed it down quite enough because it's at this big party scene. And I took some time to kind of figure out like where certain things were happening in the setting and who was involved. So that was a good thinking sprint for me.
I love a good party scene. I swear I have one in like every single story because I just want an excuse for my characters to get all dressed up and like do something fun.
I know. Well, that's actually like so funny you mentioned that because I realized that I have well, at least another one that is like another big party and then maybe even a third one that could kind of count. So I'm like, am I doing this too much? But it's my favorite thing. Let me see. So I'm scrolling back up. My second question for you all was to tell us about a piece of writing you enjoyed recently and that you think everybody should read. Because I'm always looking to add to my TBR. So I would love to hear your answers.
So I grabbed these off my bookshelf while I was like up getting my snack because I'm like, oh god, I have to actually like show these off. So I have 2 because I can never narrow things down. So I have Pet by Akwekie Emezi and The Mirror Season by Anne-Marie McLemore. I read these at the end of February, so about a month ago, for a vlog I was doing where I was reading from non-binary authors. And these 2 just absolutely blew me away. I don't go into books expecting not to like them because that's crazy. I want to like every book. But like some books you go in and you're like, yeah, this is going to be a good book, but it's not going to be like fantastic or anything. You don't have super high expectations. And that's what was with these 2. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to enjoy these, but I'm not going to be like absolutely blown away. But I was, and I'm kind of obsessed with them and think that everyone should read them.
Awesome. 2 for 1. I love it.
Mine, hold up. I pulled up so that I can read the author's name because I will not be able to pronounce it properly, and I apologize. But it's How High We Go in the Dark by Sequoia Nagamatsu, and I'm sorry if I mispronounced that. But it's not quite a like novel, but it's not quite a short story collection. It is about, it's very relevant. It's about a pandemic that hits the world. And how it's like different perspectives. It's kind of a short story collection in the sense where every single chapter is a different perspective from a different character, but you never see that character again. Other characters will be like mentioned in later short stories or whatever, where they'll have some connection to another character, but they're not brought up again. And it was kind of like another concept of how a pandemic could have been handled and what it could have done to the world and how another world is evolved. But it is, I would say, a bit of a trigger warning if you had struggled through getting through COVID. But I listened to the audiobook of it, and the it is a full cast. So like each
Oh, cool.
character's POV is like a different actor. So it was amazing.
Wow. That's cool. I don't know if I've ever read a collection like that where it is interconnected,
Yeah.
but you don't come back to people.
Yeah, that's where it's like it's not quite like a short story collection, but it's not quite a novel. It's kind of like its own
Yeah.
thing.
I love that. And so you read it like during COVID or after COVID?
Yeah, I read
During
it
the pandemic?
in January of this year.
How was that like healing at all to read about the pandemic in literature? Because I I
Yeah.
kind of had that experience where I read John Green's The Anthropocene Reviewed, and that was the first like book I ever read that had openly talked about the pandemic and kind of like had said, "Hey, this happened," and like
Yeah.
wrestled with it. And um, so that just always stuck out in my mind. So like, how was
Yeah.
that about
I
reading
feel
it?
like it definitely, I would not have been able to read this if it was like mid 2020. I would have been panicking too much, I think.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But I think it handled it well. And it does get a little weird at points where it's like, um, I don't want to spoil anything, but it does get a little weird.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I think the one piece of writing I was going to suggest was I know I'm late to this trilogy, but I started reading the Aurelian Cycle by Rosaria Munda, and my camera is going dark. Oh no. And you guys, I just love this trilogy. Ooh, curtain, come on. And it's so good. It is YA, but it's like I haven't enjoyed YA this way in such a long time where I just cannot put it down. And
Mm.
the author has really mastered characters who have history and their backstories like inform everything that they do. And it's got this like slow political churn, but also it's really angsty at the same time, which I love.
Mhm.
So if you're looking for a fantasy, I would highly, highly suggest the first book is Fireborn. Um,
You know, I just heard about that book for the first time this morning because I was watching someone's
yeah,
TBR video and they had the sequel to it on there, and I'm like, I've never heard of this series before. Let me look into that.
I know. I can't believe I'd never heard of it. I think it's a real sleeper because it's so fantastic. And I first heard about it on Elliot Brooks's channel. She's a booktuber. And I was kind of like avoiding it for a little while because the premise is a little bit similar to my fantasy novels premise, and I didn't want it to get like in my head.
Yeah.
But now
Mhm.
that I've read it, they are very different, which is good. But
Could
um,
it be a possible comp title?
yes, I think it definitely would be a comp title where they are kind of similar in one like premise point, but then from there it goes in a different direction, which is good. Let me see what other suggestions we got. Kind of old at this point, but The Kiss of Deception by Mary E. Pearson. No, that is a good one. I think that's an oldie but a goodie as well. Nikki suggested Sorrowland by Rivers Solomon. Wonderful. Paris Hilton's memoir, It's Hard if you're triggered by kids' emotional abuse, but it's fascinating and well written. Ooh, I'm due for a good memoir. Let me see. Zainab said, Into the Crooked Place. It has a bit of a slow beginning, but it picks up speed and has strong Six of Crows vibes. Very good. The Empress of Salt and Fortune by Nevo. Just proof that you don't need a lot of pages to provide a lasting impact. Such a beautiful and vibrant read. I have heard about this one. I was watching
Mhm.
an interview with this author from like a public library, which they just like put it on YouTube. It was like, thank you. This one's definitely on my list.
I'm gonna have to go back and rewatch this and write all the books down that everyone suggested.
Yes, this was a completely selfish question on my part. Amari and the Night Brothers by B.B. Alston. It's middle grade and in the same vein as Percy Jackson. Awesome. Adam suggests Rigveda. It's a book I turn to for bringing something spiritually. Wonderful. And The Hunger Games.
It is having a resurgence on TikTok right now.
Is it really?
Mhm. I've seen it everywhere lately.
Yeah. It's
Really?
because
On BookMark?
the I think it's part of the marketing for the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes movie, which comes out in November of this year. I think they're trying to build up hype.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I didn't know they were making a movie out of it.
Mm-hmm.
I did not read Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, so
It's
the King,
interesting.
yeah, The King of Elfland's Daughter by Lord Disney. I'm still trying to read it, and it's old fantasy, but I am enjoying it. It has very vivid descriptions as well as simple storytelling. Love it. Do. Hey Jess, one of our admin deities. I have returned. My power went out right after Julie's stream ended and has been out for
Oh, man.
hours. Oh no.
I'm glad it's back.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I'm sorry. That really sounds like a curse. And then we got our word counts in 192 for Angela, 200 for Ty. Rebecca wrote 972 words and crossed 50K.
Yay.
Wow. That is awesome. I am 1 square away for bingo for 3 ways in addition to the one I already got. So I'm going for blackout bingo. Well, let us know what the one is you need, and maybe we'll try and cheat the system. Hi. Hello. I'm sure I gave someone a bingo with my Wi-Fi troubles. I won't finish a draft, so the blackout bingo is impossible, but everything else I'd like to mark off. Okay, well, let us know what we can help you with. And Wallace joined. And Malin is halfway through rereading Demons, so now taking a break from it and starting on the Bodyguard Romance in Space.
Sounds like such fun.
I'm so excited. I've heard Malin talk about this just a little bit, and I need her to give it to me as soon as draft 1 is on paper. Anything in space, I'm here for it.
It just makes it so much cooler if you add in space at the end of anything.
Yes. Okay, we have another suggestion. The first chapter of Marlena by Julie Button is such brilliance. The prose and structure and characterization is perfect and still blows me away every time I read it. Also my favorite book.
Ooh.
And we have The Legionnaire by Samantha Tromfold and Down the Well by Veronica King, of course. Some debuting authors to support. Yes. Very excited. I'm going to definitely rewatch this and be putting everything on my TBR for sure. Briar writes, hello, finally got to settle into write today. A recent read I loved was The Bruising of Kilwa by Nassim Jamina, a queer normative Persian-inspired fantasy story. I loved listening to an audiobook.
Definitely looking into that.
Yeah, especially if you say that the audiobook is good, because that's how I've been doing most of my reading this year, actually.
Same.
And I have an audiobook right now that sadly I'm like loving the book, but not the audiobook narrator. I'm like, no.
That's the worst.
I know. I do have the physical copy, so I can switch, thankfully. But yeah, the narrator like is emphasizing every single sentence in kind of a strange way. It's like you can't emphasize every sentence. AR destroyed me in the best way possible. I'm trying to think what this is referring to. But all right. Can you make sure to allow chat replay? Yes, absolutely. I will figure out how to do that. I promise. All right, everybody. Well, thank you so much for the recommendations, one and all. And we will get into our third and final sprint.
This has been going by so fast.
Yeah.
I am in shock. All righty. Let me just skip the ad as per usual. All right, everybody. Good luck on your final sprint and happy writing. All right, everybody, that's the end of our third sprint. How did we do?
I am this close to finishing this chapter. I wrote 523 words, and I feel like maybe like
Oh,
50 more words, and I'll finish out this chapter.
oh my gosh, amazing. I'm sorry we don't have another sprint.
No, it's fine. I'll just quickly get it done once we end this. I'll just be like,
In the time in between us and the next productivity stream, that's your sprint. I did a lot of brainstorming stuff. I named a few things, and then I came up with an idea, and then I wrote down like, hey, you need to do research on this. So just a lot of all over the place brainstorming, but there's progress.
I'm glad you're getting some naming done. Well,
Yeah.
I'd be sticking to Anna again.
That's so weird. Sorry.
Yeah, naming is the hardest part, but I think I just named a place, so
Good. One down.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was good for me. I got probably about 300 words and some more outliney type notes. Yeah, I got like halfway into a scene, so I kind of feel like I'm in it now and have some momentum. So I'll probably be on the next stream working on that. And yeah, so our last question of the afternoon / evening / morning / night, depending on where you are, was what's next on your writing horizon? So I guess in the beginning of the stream, we talked about how our first quarters went, and then before we know it, the next relay is going to be in June, and the year will be halfway over. So what's on the docket?
I have a lot of stuff that I want to do. I don't know yet what actually will happen. We'll see when we get there, but I know at least next month for Camp Nano, I will be drafting season 2 of my serial because I outlined it last month. And then since I edited the first season this month, I feel a lot better like going into the next segment of it, how I like know I want it to play out.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna stick with that momentum.
Awesome.
I guess finishing brainstorming and outlining however much I end up outlining. I think I'm going to do kind of a combination of pantsing it and planning it. So,
Yeah.
And then drafting this new project. So, whatever
Amazing.
I decide I end up doing. So,
Can I be nosy and ask what the genre is of your new project, if you're willing to share?
It is a multi POV adult high fantasy that is roughly inspired by the industrial era, and it has to deal with revolution and is commentary on Alice in Wonderland.
Oh my gosh, fantastic.
So fun.
Awesome. I'm so excited to hear about both of these projects. I'm very excited. And yeah, for me, I am going to try and finish this draft this month. I am not letting it go on any longer. And then I want to do a like really fast like speed edit just to get it a little bit more readable, and then probably do beta readers. So that's exciting and terrifying and scary and fantastic. So yeah, everyone also shared their answers. Joanna is starting a new series. This one is more rom-com in space. We have another in space. And I've got 10 books mapped out for it.
Wow.
How?
That's insane.
That's amazing. Angela is editing a book that you got the rights back, and you're going to be putting it out. That's fantastic. Mars made a spreadsheet of all the story ideas that I have in between all the various series and such. There's enough there for nearly 100 books.
Yeah, it's okay.
Explain
so it's like,
yourself. Explain yourself.
So there's like 25 of them are all standalones. But then I also have like bigger series. Like I have a 12-book series that I like will write eventually. Not anytime soon, but like maybe like 10 years.
How do you decide what to work on? Just roll a dice like a D&D,
I mean, I
like
did my
giant
tier
dice?
ranking. I did do my tier ranking of my like most. What's the word I want to use? Like the stories I'm most excited for. I put them all in a chart, and I decided which ones I'm actually the most excited for. But yeah, I'm gonna be busy for a while.
Wow. That's amazing. That's amazing. Apart from polishing existing drafts, I won't find out until mid-year what kind of material will be on my plate to develop for 2024. It will be different from 2023 because I'm opening the floor to other members to pitch projects. On some of them, I may just be in the passenger seat, giving the occasional tips and such. Very cool. For Amanda Campanano, I'm writing a paranormal horror about treasure hunting at a sleepaway camp. Very excited to be
So
starting
fun.
something from scratch and wondering if I should vlog. Yes,
Do
you should.
it.
My answer to vlogs is always yes. Yes, do it. Even
And
if
let
you
us
don't
know when you
post it.
post it. If you post it, let us know because we're
Yes.
down to support.
Yes, absolutely. Continue turning my 0 draft into a first draft and then do that all over again with a new story. And yes, Sarah, I completely forgot as well. I still think it's January, to be completely honest. Essie is going to edit my contemporary YA again so I can dive into the query trenches. Okay, we need a query. Where's our query support group? Because I see a bunch of you in the chat. For Michael, many, many stanzas for the poem, and I'm super excited about that. Alan is querying demons. I'm scared. And also writing the rest of my space opera romance and revising my London urban fantasy project Rose. So excited. So excited. Zainab, for now, I don't see myself working on anything other than Project Orbit, second draft. Have no clue how long it will take. That's okay. It'll take exactly as long as it's supposed to take. Lynn is finishing this chaotic reverse outline and then editing an updated draft with fewer plot holes, I hope. Awesome. All right. Well, I'm sorry we didn't get to everybody's comments for every question, but thank you so much, everyone, for being here and for sharing all your good answers and good thoughts. And this was such a successful stream. Before we wrap up, do we want to do some quick outros? And if there's anything you want to plug, any fun stuff going on in the writing community that you want to shout out, please feel free.
So I am Mars. My channel is somberhoney Books, and there are 2 announcements coming out in sometime in April. One that's like my thing and a Chaos Queens thing. If you didn't know, I am 1/4 of the Chaos Queens. We stream sometimes, but we've got an event coming for that, and then I have my own personal announcement. So stay tuned if you like fun things.
Ooh. Yes, everyone's links is down below once again.
And I'm Caitlin Asche. My channel is A Barista's Writing Journey, and I document my writing journey via writing vlog and host the occasional writing sprints. And look out for a new announcement coming soon on my channel.
Announcements all around. And thank you guys so much. If you are new to my channel, my name is Anna Robbins. I'm a fantasy writer who sometimes makes videos. I do a solo stream on the last Wednesday of every month. I sometimes stream with the Lazy Gang, and I will be on another writing relay next month, hosted by Michael C.B. Chen. So if you love that, then come back next month, and we will be here. And good luck on the next stream, everybody. Have a great rest of your weekend. Bye.